Welcome back to Midcap Radar. Well, as promised, Abhishek Kapoor, Group CEO at Puravankara, joins us now. Good afternoon, Abhishek. Thank you so much for joining us. First up, we'd like to go ahead and address this particular press release that you've given to the exchanges, where you've gone ahead and taken over a significant land bank, and this is at Kanakapura Road in Karnataka. Give us a sense, number one, how much you've paid for this particular land parcel, what is the GDV of the parcel, and what is the estimated top line, and also timelines to go along with this particular news.
Vivek, thank you for having me on the show, and very good afternoon to all of you. So this is a project which we have acquired at Kanakapura Road. This is over 3.5 acre land with a potential GDV of over 700 crores and a sellable area of over 5.5 lakh square foot. We are very excited with this acquisition because this is very close to the metro station, very prime location, and the project that's been planned has come out beautifully, and it will be one of the most luxurious projects in that market. We are expecting that we should be able to take this project to market within next 6 to 9 months time frame. So we're pretty excited because in this particular market there is definitely a demand supply gap, and the kind of product that we are bringing to the market is definitely not available.
Abhishek, good afternoon. Thank you for joining in. What explains the year-on-year slowness, if you could call it that, during the quarter, because your sales value is down 17%, realizations are almost flat, you can say down 1% as well. What explains that? And if you could also tell us, what's the mix currently looking like? How's the affordable housing segment doing? How's the mid-income segment doing? If you could shed some more color on that.
Sure. So thanks, Hormuz. Look, the price realization is a mix of what you sell. So if you see between Provident and Puravankara, the price realization has actually gone up by 14 to 15%. If you look at it in detail, what has happened is we have sold a lot more in Purva land, wherein we launched a project at a much lower realization of about 3,300 rupees a square foot in Chennai. So that kind of dragged down our average realization. But realization on project to project basis, on a brand to brand basis, has gone up anywhere between 14 to 15%. As far as sales is concerned, look, the first half of the year, we did not have so many launches, largely on account of elections. But if you look at it again a little more granularly, sustained sales in the first half of the year versus last financial year have gone up from about 2,000 crores to 2,300 plus crores on an increased realization. So therefore, we have seen continued traction as a brand and as a business, including, all three categories, which is Provident, Puravankara and Purva Land, to see higher traction. Of course, there are new launches which are planned in the third, fourth and the upcoming quarters. And I think that the current demand supply gap will enable us to catch up with some of the lost time, largely on account of elections.
Abhishek, another question. A lot of players have indicated to us, especially as far as the southern market is concerned in Karnataka, that there were a lot of worries and a lot of delays in terms of getting approvals for project launches, for going ahead with sales. Give us a sense of the on-ground trend over there. Along with that, give us a sense of the pipeline in store that you have for H2. Q3 is already gone, so how have pre-sales, how have collections panned out over there? And at the end of FY25, where do you expect to end with?
Right. So, look, as far as approval is concerned, as I mentioned, largely on account of elections, there was a little bit of a gap because the administration was busy with the elections. And also, if you realize, the quantum of absorption that happened the last year increased the quantum of supply that had to be brought in this year. And what has happened is that large number of files also got bunched up with the government, and the capacity to process hasn't improved significantly. So on an overall basis, that's really the kind of lag that we are seeing in terms of plan sanctions. But I think in Q4 and Q1 of the next financial year, the industry will see much better, in terms of launches. Now, as far as our launches are concerned, we had a plan to launch over 12 million square foot. Obviously, we have, in the first half of the year, we did not do many launches, but we are on the cusp of a lot of launches. Some of them, of course, are in the pipeline, which will happen in the Q3. We'll announce those which have been done in the quarter results. And, of course, in Q4, a lot of them have bunched up. So, yes, it's pretty skewed towards the last quarter of the financial year. But we are certain that we'll be able to push through majority of them, maybe with some spillover to Q1. Otherwise, collections have been pretty good, robust, and I think that trend continues. And on an overall basis, we remain optimistic in terms of our sales numbers. And of course, excited with the fact that we have acquired about 10,700 crores worth of GDV assets. And we are expecting those launches of over 6 million square foot to come in the next 6 to 9 months time frame. So that will definitely enable us to bolster our sales for the next financial year as well.
How has pricing shaped up, Abhishek, during the quarter? Because there have been some reports of prices cooling off in prime markets like Mumbai. Do you see that on the ground, or do you see any indications that that may happen in the future? Because that is something that people like Vivek and I would want to know.
Yeah, no, that's a very good question. I have said this in the past, and my view on pricing is that steep increase in prices, that era is kind of over. What we will see typically as an industry average, in my mind, will be somewhere between, inflation plus 2-3% kind of annual price increase in the residential space. Now, as far as, of course, demand-supply gap is different, and some of the micro markets and some of the cities may see different price trends because of the demand-supply situation. So, as far as, for example, certain projects are concerned, you will always see from launch to completion that appreciation happening because, as the project gets built up, the prices go up. But that's on project to project. If you look at average, I think the industry average will remain in a steady state of growth, which will be about inflation plus 2 or 3% across the market.
All right, Abhishek, thank you so much for sparing time and joining us today. Wish you good luck for the rest of the year as well. That was the management there of Puravankara after the recent land that they acquired and on the road ahead as well. Time for a short break, but as we count down to Budget 2025, India is looking to seize the moment.